Have you ever wondered if a single moment can change history? The Battle of Saraighat is one such moment. A legendary showdown on the Brahmaputra River, where a small kingdom stood tall against the mighty Mughal Empire. This isn't just a story of kings and soldiers. It's about heart, strategy, and the courage to fight for what matters. In 1671, near modern-day Guwahati, the Ahoms faced overwhelming odds, defending their homeland from being swallowed by a giant empire. The battle is a masterclass in using knowledge, teamwork, and spirit to overcome the impossible. Let's journey back and watch this epic story unfold. A tale of strategy, bravery, and the power of unity. To truly understand the magnitude of this epic clash, a conflict that would echo through the ages, we must first meet the two sides poised for war. The Mughals, a vast and formidable empire stretching across the Indian subcontinent, led by the ambitious Emperor Aurangzeb, with seemingly endless ranks of soldiers, a force to be reckoned with, and a fleet of powerful warships ready to navigate any river or sea. Their ultimate goal? To further expand their already immense empire and finally conquer the unconquered Ahom kingdom, a land that had stubbornly resisted their grasp. Standing against them were the Ahoms, the local heroes and rulers of Assam, who had proudly ruled the fertile Brahmaputra Valley for centuries, establishing a unique and vibrant culture. They might not have been the biggest or most numerous army, but they possessed an invaluable advantage. They knew every twist and turn of the mighty Brahmaputra River and every hidden path and secret of their beloved land. For the Mughals, driven by imperial ambition, it was all about expanding their power and influence. But for the Ahoms, this was a matter of survival. The survival of their freedom, their hard-won independence, their unique culture, and their very existence as a distinct people. The Brahmaputra, a significant obstacle to be overcome for the invading Mughals, was, in reality, the Ahoms' greatest and most trusted ally, a natural defense against the encroaching empire. Their profound and intimate knowledge of the river's currents, depths, and hidden pathways would ultimately become their most powerful and unexpected weapon in the coming conflict. The stage was now set for an epic battle, a clash of empires where the very forces of nature would rise up and join the fight. Outnumbered, facing a seemingly insurmountable foe, the Ahoms understood the gravity of their situation. The Ahoms knew they couldn't win a direct fight. A head-on clash of armies would surely spell their doom. They needed a different approach, a strategy that would negate the Mughals' superior numbers and firepower. Their general, the brilliant Lachit Borphukan, understood this implicitly. He turned the Brahmaputra River, the lifeblood of Assam, into a formidable fortress. This ingenious move forced the Mughals to fight on Ahom terms, dictating the battlefield and exploiting the invaders' weaknesses. They built earthen walls, providing cover and slowing the enemy's advance. They constructed hidden stockades, camouflaged fortifications that would surprise and disorient the Mughal forces. And they laid traps along the riverbanks, turning the natural environment into a deadly obstacle course. The Ahoms were masters of controlling both the water and the land, using their intimate knowledge of the terrain to their advantage. The Mughal navy's heavy boats, designed for open water, struggled in the tricky currents of the Brahmaputra, their size and weight becoming a liability. Meanwhile, the Ahoms' nimble Bachari boats, perfectly suited for river warfare, darted in and out with ease, harassing the enemy and disrupting their formations. The Ahoms used a scorched earth policy, a brutal but effective tactic. They left no supplies for the advancing Mughals, systematically denying them food and resources. This relentless strategy weakened them day by day, sapping their strength and morale. They strategically delayed the major battle until the monsoon season, knowing the rains would be their ally. The monsoon rains turned the land marshy, creating treacherous conditions for the invading army, and the river became unpredictable, a swirling torrent of dangerous currents. These were conditions the Mughals, accustomed to drier climates, simply couldn't handle. Disease and low morale began to spread like wildfire. Sickness swept through the Mughal camp, further weakening their fighting force. The Ahoms' plan was a masterpiece of defensive warfare, a testament to their strategic brilliance. It was a calculated combination of using nature's defenses, ingenious engineering, and subtle psychological tactics, all designed to level the odds against a far superior enemy. The stage was now set for a final decisive showdown, a clash that would determine the fate of Assam. It was a battle where brains would battle brawn, where tactical brilliance would be pitted against overwhelming force. As the climactic moment approached, the stage was set for a battle that would determine the fate of empires. The Mughals, supremely confident in their vast resources and manpower, launched a massive assault, a relentless wave intended to overwhelm the Ahom defenses. They were confident their sheer numbers would crush the Ahoms, believing that resistance was futile against such an imposing force. But the Ahoms, a smaller kingdom defending their homeland, were led by the brilliant Lachit Borfukan, a commander of exceptional courage and strategic acumen. Knowing they couldn't match the Mughals in a conventional battle, they struck with cunning guerrilla tactics, using the element of surprise to their advantage. Their swift boats, perfectly adapted to the riverine environment, were like shadows, attacking and vanishing before the Mughals could effectively respond. This constant harassment and disruption turned the Mughals' size into a weakness, their vast numbers becoming unwieldy and difficult to manage in the unfamiliar terrain. Despite their initial success, at a critical moment, the Ahoms began to falter, the relentless pressure of the Mughal assault taking its toll. The situation seemed dire, but Lachit, gravely ill and weakened by fever, refused to yield. In a display of unwavering resolve, he had himself carried into battle, determined to inspire his troops and lead them to victory. With a voice hoarse but filled with conviction, he declared he would fight to his last breath, defending his homeland against the invaders. Inspired by his courage and unwavering commitment, the Ahom soldiers rallied, their spirits renewed by their leader's sacrifice. They surged forward, launching a fierce counterattack with renewed vigor and determination. Their nimble boats, now driven by a desperate courage, rammed the Mughal flagship, aiming to cripple the enemy's command structure. The impact was devastating, sowing chaos and confusion among the Mughal ranks. The Mughal fleet, overwhelmed and confused by the sudden turn of events, fell apart, their carefully planned assault dissolving into disarray. Against all odds, the mighty empire was defeated by a united, determined force, fighting for their freedom and their homeland. In the face of overwhelming odds, Lachit's exceptional leadership turned the tide of the battle, securing a decisive victory for the Ahoms. His triumph served as a powerful testament, proving that courage, strategic brilliance, and unwavering resolve can outmatch brute strength and numerical superiority. The river, the lifeblood of the kingdom, had witnessed their struggle. The land, their cherished homeland, was now secure, and the people, united in their determination, had all fought as one, defending their way of life. Through their collective courage and unwavering spirit, the Ahoms had achieved the impossible, securing their freedom and preserving their legacy. The victory at Saraighat secured Assam's independence and preserved its unique culture. It's a timeless lesson. Unity, intelligence, and courage can overcome overwhelming odds. The story of Saraighat is a cornerstone of Assamese pride and identity. Lachit Borfukan's leadership reminds us that true leaders inspire by example, especially in the darkest moments. The battle teaches us to turn weaknesses into strengths and to work together for a common cause. History is full of hidden stories like this, tales of underdogs and unsung heroes. Let's carry these lessons forward, using courage, intelligence, and unity to shape a better future.